Hey everybody, this is Mickey G. Rodney and I talk about a lot of different things today. We even talk about how artificial intelligence and technology seems to be taking over more of our lives and some interesting situations we ran into. And then, wouldn't you believe it, halfway through our recording, we got some static along the lines. Makes you wonder. Well, I hope y'all enjoy this episode of Old Fools Talking Old School. I thought I'd missed you. I just sitting around here twiddling my damn thumbs, and all of a sudden I'm getting phone calls left and right. Tara show up early from work.
Yeah.
I said, "Damn."
I know what you mean, man. I almost missed you, man. Uh, uh, I got up after we texted and all that. Got up moving around, man. And I had bought, a little lining that you can put in your door, the little plastic stuff that goes in there to keep when the door's not all the way square.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just happened to be out there one day. It seems like ever since they put it back on when they did that painting, hell, it was off, man. I could see daylight coming through them. I was like, ah, no. So I finally went and bought some yesterday. Finally put it in there, man. Then I cut it too short. I'm like, damn. So then I got another little piece in there. So I did the NR, the Niger rig. and tried to fill in that space, but I still see a little space. So I'm gonna run back over there and get it. I guess I didn't use my principle. I should have cut it too long first.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking I can get it pretty exact. So, well, yeah, man, I did that. And then Rosa was out walking. She come back and we standing there talking. So I had to replace a couple of lights by the garage. Did that. And what else did I do? I did something else. Oh, damn, power went out. I was like, damn. All the power went out, man. And because the lady down next door, she went out and got one of them generators and hers jumped off. And I thought my television, I heard it go off, And so I kind of lost track of time. Then when stuff came back on, well, it did come back on right away because the generator kicked in. But I was on Facebook. I got back on the deal, man. I looked up and it said 223. I was like, God dang. Boy, that time went by real quick, man. I was like, oh, I got to get ready to get online with Mickey there,
Yeah. I was out. And this is why I say this technology and stuff is scary. I was in there looking at my dishwasher, and since we got some new countertops put in, it don't see it's not stable as it used to be. Because when I had the countertops that weren't granite, you could just screw it into the bottom of the thing, that made it stable. Well, I mean, you can't really screw into granite. So
right.
I was looking down there at it, and I was saying to myself, I said, there's got to be some way of doing this. I said, well, go on to my trusty source, go out to Google and just Google it, So I went out there, and now, like I said, this is the part where it gets scary. Now I go out there on Google and I type in install A. All I typed in was install A. And the first thing that popped up on there was a dishwasher. And I'm like, of all the things that you could install in this world, how did it know that I was going to type in install a dishwasher?
Man, I told you they got these TVs and shit rigged. They can sit up.
I'm like, come on now. I look down there because, after I start typing, I look down there to see what it's going to suggest. And I'm like, I don't believe the first thing on this list is install a dishwasher. And I'm like, it's starting to get scary. I know the other day we got, those Alexuses, those little, whatever you call them, things where you can tell it to play music and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it also gives you update on like Amazon, if you return an Amazon package or things of that nature. And so it had that little yellow ring around it, like had a message. So little D got on there and said, Alexa, what is the message? And she came back and said, "Well, your package that was delivered from Amazon, I think it was for Tamara, has been delivered." Blah 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 blah. So Donovan said, "Thank you, Alexa, for that information." She came back and said, "Well, thank you for the compliment. It makes me feel so warm inside." And I looked at him. I'm like, "Little D, has Alexa ever said that to you before?" Yeah, thank you for that compliment. It makes me so warm inside. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Man, they taking over.
I'm thinking the same thing, man. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, I don't believe this, but sometimes it's almost like something's following you. Like you said,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that popped up on that Google search for all the things that you could look to install. That was the very first thing that popped up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is this thing reading my mind?
I'm serious. I done got I'm paranoid about, you just be surfing on there. Oh, let me take a look at this. I know I was sitting up there the other day and I saw this SUV pass by, but I couldn't tell what it was. So, but I knew it was a Ford.
Right.
So I just went rather than try to go to just if I'd have known what it was, I could have pulled up Ford, whatever it was, but I didn't know. So I went to the Ford the Ford site.
Right.
See if I could see it. You know how they have all the different things across there. Now I'm inundated with Ford damn advertisements. You can't even inquire nothing. And
No.
somebody, it's like they got a technician for every person in this country to see what they're doing and put it on there, man. But I'm just tripping on that, man. I can't think of nothing to ever look at anyway. Boy, when I was working, I could think of all kind of stuff. Oh, let me check this site out. Man, I can't think of nothing to look at now.
Yeah. And I tell you, what's even scarier is that, like you say, well, I guess it's all part of the same system, the internet and stuff. But you go out and you do a Google search on, say, Fords,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go back to your Facebook page later on.
Yep.
You'll see all kind of ads for Fords on your Facebook page too.
Yes, sir.
I've seen that stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't done nothing about Ford on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I getting all these Ford ads on my Facebook page?
Yep.
Like I say, it goes out and it follows you, man. Like I say,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna take over one day.
You ain't lying. When that happens to me on Facebook, I hit that little them three dots up there. Like, why am I seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
And then hide this or don't send this no more. I'm like, boy, you can't do nothing here. You can barely talk in your house.
Yep, it follows you around. That's for sure. Yeah, that's why I don't know if you saw my posted out there yesterday. I posted that picture of that album, that Bobby Caldwell album. After
I saw it today. Yeah,
he passed away. Okay, you saw it today.
Mm-hmm.
I was. We were talking about that last week. Of course, you sort of go back and talk about the history, and I was telling the girls about how all they had was a silhouette of him on the album cover because they expected it to be really a R&B album.
Right.
He was white,
Yeah.
and that's why you only saw the silhouette and that kind of thing. And we were talking about that, and I was up there in my media room yesterday, and I said, man, don't I got that Bobby Caldwell album? I went in there and looked and pulled it out, man, and I saw that Sound Warehouse sticker.
I saw that.
On the thing, and
it ain't no $5.99 no more.
No more. I said, and Tamara said, "Was that all you paid for that album?" I said, "Yeah." And Marion came on and said, "Yeah, that's all they paid for that one, but there probably was 5 or 6 in the bag." I said, "Now see, ain't nobody talking about that now." But I said, yes, we did have a fee because she said, yeah, they got that stealing album. I said, you don't steal something when they put it in the bag for you. How can you steal something when their employee is putting it in the bag? That is not stealing,
But, what's old boy's name?
Man,
Pete.
For the life of me, I couldn't think of his name.
His name was Pete.
That sure was. Yeah. That sure was. I could not think of his name to save my life. I said, but unfortunately, we went back after a couple of weeks, and he wasn't there. I said, I don't know if they
They say,
Caught on to him or what?
they say your discount is gone now. Yes, sir. Yeah, old Pete. I remember
Yeah.
he was mad because they passed over him for promotion. He thought he should have been store manager. I was talking to him down there about it. He was hot. They promoted some other dude over him. And Pete was there for a long time, man.
Oh yeah.
And,
But
but
it's,
yeah,
it's hard to promote somebody to store manager when they're losing sales for you know.
well, no, that's when he started doing it after they passed
Oh,
over.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why he was doing it. Cause I think I must have asked him because I was like, man, how you doing all this? Oh man, they didn't piss me off. I was supposed to get this store manager promotion. They gave it to somebody else. And I said, oh, okay, but yeah, I still take them free albums though.
I tell you.
Yeah, that's what he was mad about.
I'm just glad they didn't do like they do at Sam's and stop you at the door and look through all your stuff and scan it.
Man, you know what? Don't ask me why. I understand, but I don't. Every time, look at my receipt, like I ain't gonna steal nothing. And first off, I don't even like the fact that I pay you to come in this month. But every time it irritates me when I walk up there. I usually give Rosin receipts. So when I go there, get me some boxes to put my stuff in or whatever I'm getting.
Right.
I'm like, damn, like somebody gonna take something out of this big old plate. Well, I guess they will if they get a chance to.
Well, yeah, that's totally what they've done. But I mean, I don't know how much of it they stop anyway, because it's not like they scan everything in your basket. They scan a couple and look at the receipt, and if those two match, then they just will let you go on. But I thought about that when we were talking about the story of the day in Sound Warehouse.
Yeah, what a day, boy!
What was a day? I tell you. Matter of fact, I was listening to the Groove the other day, and I guess my boy Smokey got a new album out, and
boy, that brother there, more power to him. But man,
I agree. I agree.
He's casket ready, boy. He sits up there. He looks just like he about to go any minute now, and all them face and nose and whatever jobs he had, Botox. I mean, eyebrow in a permanent expression position.
Yeah.
Still think he can get the women. He was on there singing with some girl flirting on some show I saw. Like, Smokey, sit your old behind down somewhere.
As I was listening to that cut from his album, I was like, yeah, Smokey, it's like all of us. Our better days are past us. He sounded like he was really straining, trying to just get the words out and things.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
sound like an old man.
Yeah. I'm like, I understand you want to cut a new album and do those kind of things, but that gets to a point to where you just say, hey, I'll rely on my old stuff and do it the best I can. But there's been a couple of them that's come out with new albums, and you just listen to it and you say, I would rather remember the good days and have to listen to this just because you wanted to do a new album.
Right. And you done enough of them, boy. You got a library and a half, more than likely, and that ain't even include the ones you wrote and produced for other folks.
Oh yeah. He can go on his laurels forever. I mean, he ain't got nothing to prove, nothing to show that hey, I'm still relevant in these days. I mean, the genres and stuff have changed 10 times since his day. Just let these new folks go ahead and do their thing, and you just let folks remember the way things used to be. But I guess it's like sports stars and there were other people. It's hard to give it up.
I was just gonna say that they want that adulation, man.
Yeah, I guess it's just hard to give it up sometimes because I know this guy was telling me when Parliament Funkadelic came to this little town up from my hometown. He said, man, all George Clinton did was sit down on a chair the whole concert. I said, well, you got real George, almost 80 years old. What do you expect him to do? Come out there with that P-Funk outfit on, that kind of stuff? I said, George, 80 years old. He can't do that stuff no more.
I'm telling you, you need to sit down. Like, they I don't know. some of them just, I mean, thank God they still here. Give them that, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
if you can sell it, go ahead and do it, I guess. But not when I first heard it, I was like, "Boy, you sound old."
Yeah,
Smoking,
yeah.
you know.
It did. It did. And then I heard something today where one of the Isley brothers is suing the other Isley brother
Yep, I saw
over
that too.
copyright infringement and
Man,
stuff.
boy, just put a couple of dollars on the line on something, boy.
And
They'll
the
turn
first thing
on.
I thought about Rodney was, you know, Ron Isley went to prison for not paying the taxes. You think he's gonna pay you?
I'm telling you. And then waited so late in the game. I looked at that picture he had up there, boy. His brother ain't looked like that in a long time, boy. What picture was that from? Yeah, they was they're just tripping, man. But that's how it is. Put that money out there, boy. It's gonna be some suits filed.
Yeah, and it seemed like that happened with some of those, especially some of those older groups. They go out there and get those copyrights for the name and for certain sayings or album the titles and things. They go out there because they know, every time they play it on a radio station or somebody sample it or whatever, it comes to them because they have the copyrights to it. Even though the name, they have. That's what happened with not Confunction. Lakeside. That's what happened to Lakeside.
Oh, okay.
One of the group members went out there and copyrighted the names and things of that nature. So the other group, which I think was mostly original members, had to start using something like some kind of Lakeside 2 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, because they advertised the real Lakeside. I'm like, well, who is the real Lakeside? One of my favorite groups, but it always ends up being that way for some reason. And I imagine a lot of it is due because them dudes don't even understand what that concept of the royalties will be later on. They're so living in the moment. And don't let one do it. The rest of them going to be hot.
Yeah.
Which I can kind of understand that too. Hey, let's do this so that we all get a little cut of the pie. But, hey, that's business. If somebody else comes up and gets it, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that's what usually happens a lot of times too is, when they first start, they want everybody to get a little piece of the pie, even though it may be somebody that's just sitting in the back, clacking two pieces of wood together to make a little sound,
Right.
And then as they get to be big and, people, the producers and all start, well, why are you paying all them people when you could have more money to yourself? And that's when it becomes a big deal.
Yeah.
The money takes over.
And then they go solo.
Yeah.
We've been doo-wopping on the sidewalk since we was 10, but now, hey, plenty of cases of it. Lionel Richie. And
it's funny you mentioned that. There's matter of fact, the lady that I did my last interview on my show, she's the director of the Warren Arts where they put on the plays and things.
Yeah.
They have one production that they just did. It's like a story of doo-wop or whatever. I guess it's just something I never did much research on or whatever. As I told her, when I think of doo-wop, I think of groups like Sha Na Na and those kind of guys, back in the day. But she educated me. She said, really, doo-wop started in the black community. Those guys singing on the corner and things like that,
barbershops.
And she said that's really what it started. And she said, Mickey, you got to come to. I didn't go to this production, even though it had a couple of black folks in it that I knew. She said, you really got to come to it. She said, we're going to be playing at the Park Theater, and all our other shows at our place were sold out. But she said that's where it started, and she said we make that very well known in this production that it started on the street corners and the kitchens and stuff with families just singing, sitting around the table singing.
Yeah, them brothers with them conchs on their head.
Yeah,
that line about ate the head up. Trying to get that hair straight.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day when they were talking. There was one of these commercials about if you use this hair straightener, if you use this stuff, you might be entitled to money and all this kind of stuff. And I said, I just think back with that stuff they were using back in the day, boy. I just what kind of, and then again, you think about it, that stuff might have been better for them than it was stuff they're using today.
Hey man, it's been a real trip with us black folks and our hair and those trends. Well, for one thing, we can do more with ours, but
Mm-hmm.
I was Rosin was looking at an old picture of us. As a matter of fact, she put it on the bulletin board in the kitchen. Me and her, we had went to a prom or something. Both of us standing up there, almost tilting our heads away from each other from them froze. And then she started reminiscing about I'll never forget when we first got to San Antonio. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Anyway, it was after we got married, so I'd been there for a few years. And I went and got that Jerry curl, man. And I tried that. Oh, Curtis Miller. Oh, man, I cut it for you. Boy, he had me looking like a Harlem fool. He cut my hair and you know, with that curl on it, still had it straight.
Right.
Boy, I'm walking around looking like a porcupine, man. And she had some relatives coming in for a visit. And they're like, what the hell did she marry? You know. Oh man, I was going, yeah, we've been through some trials and tribulations, even the men, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was getting them curls put in even when I was in the Air Force.
Yeah,
I
me
would go
too.
there. I'd go to the beauty shop. Matter of fact, there was a sister that worked at the beauty shop over on Lackland. I'd go over there. She put my curl in, my perm and stuff in, man.
Yes, sir.
I'd put them 2 or 3 stocking caps on and try to pack it down so I could go to work during the week and let that stuff out on the weekend. But yeah, I mean, I went through that same thing too. And you look back and you think, oh man, how did I ever do that? Well, at the time, that was the thing.
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. Big time. We got a picture down in the office. She everywhere we go, she wants to put it up. Ask me why, I don't know. But I look at it sometimes because it's in our office down there. See, I ain't nowhere near 3510 with a uniform on.
Mm-hmm.
My hair, I'm like, even today I'll look at it and go like, how in the hell did you get away with that? You know, the hair that long. You know, so I don't know. It's one of them. She's always like it. Remember Olin Mills? We had one of them Olin Mills.
Oh yeah.
Things. Yeah. She hangs it up everywhere we go, man. Every time we move, it's hanging up there.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got a picture of me and Mary. I guess it was probably right after we got married that I have on my phone as my wallpaper on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And Tara said, every time I look at that picture, Dad, I'm thinking, what is that blemish on that bottom of that picture? And she said, then I realized it says Olin Mills. I said, yeah, they used to call every Saturday morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Every Saturday morning, Olin Mills would call the house and try to get you to set up a studio set. And I said, tell you the truth, that's where we took the vast majority of our pictures.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. As us. And then when the girls were born, we did them at Olin Mills. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what that says. That says Olin Mills. There ain't no blemish on that picture.
Exactly. But they had a little monopoly down there at least.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, I was just looking at a few things that, like I say, hadn't talked in a while after all the other stuff that was going on. I said we hadn't talked about the Super Bowl. I said it's almost already March Madness and stuff going on. I said we got to start doing a few more, recordings if it ain't, but some quick stuff just to stay up on things. I was looking at that thing about that book that Prince Harry put out. They were big time for a while. You don't hear about them no more. But during that time they was big time. I was laughing at the point where he said that he knew he couldn't trust his brother and the royal family anymore after his brother played that pull my finger prank on him. You hear that? No. Well, I guess Prince William and him were kids and they were playing around and he pulled that pull my finger prank on him. And he said, "Well, I knew from that time on I couldn't trust my brother." And I'm like, if that's all your brother ever did to you, and
Yeah.
because my brother Larry, rest his soul, was one of the biggest pranksters ever was.
Right.
I said, if that's all your brother did to you, and you felt you couldn't trust him from that point, you got a problem. And I'm like,
Mhm.
sound like he was sort of grasping for straws to try to get some people to buy your book.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. You know, and hard as they say he parted, I'm surprised he even remembered it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause, he was the one that they had them pictures of was that one party was, I think he was naked, running around naked and all
Mhm.
kind of stuff, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then I'm like, you gonna tell me that's why you can't trust your brother because he pulled that little prank on you. That's something they do back in third grade.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Because I think there's probably more to it than that.
Yeah,
I
well,
got
it is.
I got fed up with all of them anyway, because I ain't no royalist. Hell, ain't none of you better than I am. So I couldn't. And then it's amazing how they anoint certain ones, just like shit. Fergie was over there doing all of Europe. Now all of a sudden she married him. She's probably on that plane with him and old boy that hung himself in the
Oh,
with the
Epstein.
yeah. And then he got married, and then they had a big uproar. You probably remember, don't you, about her being a commoner?
Yeah,
All of a
yeah.
sudden, they do whatever they do and anoint her as a royal. I said, "Oh, it's just that easy, huh? Whoever you like, you can make a royal." Oh
Oh,
man,
yeah, yeah.
that crap is a bunch of crap myself. And so I didn't even I ain't paid no attention to him and Meghan Markle and all of that crap, man. These folks over here, oh, a black queen and all that. I said, hell, she wouldn't even speak. She saw you walking down the street.
Yeah, but like I say, so I gotta give it to her. Yeah, that one sister brought down the whole royal
Family,
family.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I gotta give it to her. I said, that's
yeah.
why I say
She probably
she
read
she
that
must
book.
have put something on Harry.
Hey.
'Cause he disowned his mama, his daddy, and everybody.
He did like in I forget the movie, but Leela Racon's in there, and the dude said, "Put your mom on the phone." Hey, I ain't never coming. Leela
That
Racon,
was in Harlem Nights,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Harlem
Yeah,
Nights, yeah.
yeah.
I ain't never coming home. She put it on him.
That's what I said too, but she must have put him on it because after he gave up all his royalties and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she must have definitely put it on old Harry.
I'm telling you, yeah, buddy. I'm sitting up here looking at they got old John what is his name? The little dude that sings.
John Legend.
Yeah, John Legend got his wife on here doing an interview.
That's somebody that never. I mean, she ain't made to impress me, but she's just somebody that I just never seen all the hype for.
Me either, and
I don't know. I don't know why.
that's what I was getting ready to comment on. I'm sitting up here looking at her now. She looks better now than she ever has to me, and she got a little weight on her. Got a little girls up there looking all right and everything, but she's got a fuller face,
Mm-hmm.
and because I've never thought she was attractive. I've never thought
Me
she
either.
was attractive, man.
Me either. I
And
thought the same thing. And I don't know if she ever had any injections in her lips and things, but I always thought she had.
she probably
Uh,
well, they looking mighty thick up here.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I always thought she did.
Mhm.
But as I say, to each his own. But
There you
I
go.
just never saw the hype.
Me either. Me either. And but yeah, I just observed that real quick. I'm like, she looking better than she's ever looked. And but all of these, man, these women and they're imposters because once they take all that crap they got on off, like, who are you?
Did y'all hear that static halfway through the podcast? That's that artificial intelligence. Hey Alexa, clear up that static. I bet you can't do that. We hope y'all enjoyed this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School. Join Join us next time. Peace.